Welcome to Ordinary Effort, where a bunch of random guys guess random baseball players and try not to biff the grid. We're coming here with a special edition for Father's Day. I am thrilled to be joined by my dad. If you've watched the show, you know I'm a Yankees fan. So, as disappointing as it is to admit, my dad is a huge Mets fan. But for Father's Day, I thought it'd be fun to tackle a grid that has both of our favorite teams. My dad was a huge part of my baseball career as a kid, taking me to a million different travel teams and practices, coaching my team. So, Dad, thanks for doing this.
Hey, happy to be here. This is lots of fun. I'm loving this ordinary effort uh, program that you and your friends are doing.
Yeah, awesome. It's been a lot of fun, and my parents are big time fans of the show. So, with that, maybe let's jump in. I figure we can share each do our own team's column. So, why don't you're the guest? Why don't you start us off? Is there anyone that comes to mind for Mets Reds?
Well, I could do an obvious Tom Seaver, but I think that a lot of folks are going to
Okay.
go with that one. So let's go with the opposite side of that and do Pat Zachary, who I think was one of the pitchers that came along in the trade for Seaver.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that name, but that's going to be a good one. So Pat Zachary, that's those years seem right.
Yeah.
76.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. You know, it's rare when they don't show their face, so that's a good start. Um, Yankees, Reds, similarly, I think about Jay Bruce. I think about Todd Frazier, but I think I'll go with a reliever and do Luis Sessa. Unless you can think of an old time guy that you think fits here.
Nope. I think either one of those are good. So
Yeah, let's go with Luis Sessa. I think sometimes people forget the relievers on here. He was a guy who I thought was going to be really good for the Yankees. Didn't fully pan out. All right, 3.5%. All right, let's keep it going. Mets Rangers. Who comes to mind here?
well, I have an all-time favorite that I use whenever I'm playing ordinary grid, and being somebody who worked at Stony Brook University for over 40
Oh,
years, I've got to go with the ultimate Met and Texas Ranger, and that would be Travis Jankowski.
yeah, I thought you might go with Jankowski. Big favorite in our house, being a Stony Brook alum. You can see the Stony Brook memorabilia behind him. Yeah, that's a great one. World Series champ, probably the only Stony Brook alum to win the World Series. I mean, Joe Nathan, I don't think
I don't
won the
think
World
Joe Nathan ever won
Series.
the World Series, but Jankowski clearly did.
Yeah, really good one. All right, Travis Jankowski it is. Excellent. All right, 3.2%. Yankees, Rangers. A couple options here. You can go Kenny Rogers. You could go Pudge Rodriguez. Who comes to mind here for you?
I think either one of those two choices are good. You could absolutely go with A-Rod, but I think he'd be an obvious choice for
True.
folks. Um, but I think your two choices are good.
Yeah, sometimes I think about Kenny Lofton because he played with a bunch of teams after he played with Cleveland. I just don't know if Texas is one of them.
Not sure.
Oh, John Wetland works here.
Yep, he would work there. Probably would
I
score
think
well again.
yeah, I think Wetland might be a little better than Kenny Rogers. Hard to say. Might be some other ones. Well, I was gonna say Ezekiel Duran, who came over in the Joey Gallo trade, so you could use Joey Gallo too, but I don't think Duran ever played for the Yankees. I think he was in the
No,
farm
I don't
system
think he did.
still.
But you could use Joey Gallo. I bet you he would not score real high.
Yeah, could use Joey Gallo. I don't want to take this for too long. I'm just thinking there's been a lot of players to, I feel like, go back and forth between those teams. So there might be some other ones we're not considering. Teixeira, right?
Teixeira did play for Texas.
Right. So he works there. Yeah, some good options. Trying to think of pitchers if I've left anyone out. Let's go Wetland. I think he might be pretty good here. See what happens. Definitely fits the box. See about the rarity score. Okay. Yeah, 2.6%. Not bad.
That looks good.
Yep. All right. So Mets and a lot of options here. Played for five plus teams. I like this box. So
Well, we could go David Cohn. I think he played for at least five teams. He was the ultimate nomad of players.
yeah,
We could also do Todd Frazier. I think he had to have played for at least five teams.
it's
Um,
true.
how many teams did Willie Randolph play for? I know at least Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
Yankees, Mets. Um, Not sure who else he played for.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Todd Frazier played for the Reds, the Mets, the Yankees. I'm sure there are other ones. I'm not think the White Sox maybe. I'm not positive. Um,
Who's the guy that came over to the Mets from Pittsburgh that played for a whole slew of teams, and all, including the Yankees as well? Second baseman.
hmm, second baseman who came over. G-Man Choi.
No, no. Although he might be a possibility, he played for a number of teams. Um, Drawing a blank on his name, but he played for Pittsburgh for a long time, then the Mets, then the Yankees, and some other teams as well, I believe. But I think we could go with Frazier. We could go with David Cohn. We may want to save Cohn for some of the other categories, though.
David Cone definitely fits here, right? You got Blue Jays, Yankees, Mets.
Oh,
Uh,
David Justice might fit. I think he had a really short tenure with the Mets. Um, Played for
okay.
Yankees as
Yankees,
well.
A's,
A's.
Braves, Mets. There's probably a 15 in there. So if you feel like David Justice played for the Mets, he probably fits here.
I just read something recently about how he, did not like his tenure with the Mets. I think it was a really short tenure.
I like that then. If we can think of, I mean, it's a little bit of a risk because we can't think of that fifth team, but Yankees, Mets, A's, Braves for sure. There might have been a fifth team in there. Do you want to go with David Justice? Give it a
Let's give David Justice a try. Hope we don't.
let's give it a try. Gotta take a risk sometimes. Okay, that's a biff. All right. Happens. All right. So, yeah, I'm surprised about that actually. All right. We'll come back to it. Played for five teams with the Yankees. You've got Mike Morgan here, who I like to use on the grid sometimes because he played for a whole slew of teams. Kenny Lofton also works here.
Sure.
Might be a good one. Um, Anyone come to mind for you?
Again, Cohn, but I think we should save Cohn for something
Cone.
else.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's sometimes I use the backup catchers quite a bit. So like Eric Kratz has played for a lot of teams, the Yankees being one of them. He might actually be a good fit here. People forget backup catchers. You've got Yankees, Rays, Astros. There's at least five. I'm blanking on some of them.
I'm good. I'm good with him. If you think that he's going to, fit the category.
I think Eric Kratz is the one here. If people watch the episode, I've used him before. Huge fan of him. Shout out to him and the Foul Territory show. Yeah, Eric Kratz. Okay. Got ourselves a hidden gem at 0.38%. Never go wrong with Eric Kratz. All right, let's tackle the last column here. So 15 plus wins in a season with the Reds. I've got someone, but who comes to mind for you?
I'm thinking Don Gullett might be one. Played for the Reds in the '70s on the big Reds machine teams. Uh,
Yeah.
he's one. Who have you got?
I mean, this is an old time baseball name that as we search some of these random guys, Old Hoss Radburn played in
Never
the
heard.
early 1900s, back in the day when he had a season where he had 48 wins. So I know he works here.
If he had 48 wins, just by that alone, he deserves to be there.
Let's put Old Hoss in there. I like to get these old time players in there. He's also a Hall of Famer. Um, Old Hoss Radbourne. Shout out, great picture of him too. Um, all right, Rangers 15 win season. I mean the obvious one's Nolan Ryan, right?
I think lots of folks will pick Ryan. Um, you've got Scherzer.
Yeah, this is one where you could use Scherzer, especially, shout out here we're playing crossover grid. Rules are a little different. He doesn't need to have gotten the 15 wins with Texas, so that works. Same would say be for Eovaldi, would
Mhm.
work here as well. Um, Maybe Kenny Rogers, though I don't know if he ever had a 15 win season.
Yeah, he had some, strong seasons. I don't know if he ever hit 15 though. So
Bartolo, although he might work for the bottom box. He definitely works for the bottom box.
he would definitely be for the bottom box. So let's save him there.
Yeah. Yeah, Scherzer works, assuming they haven't changed the rules behind crossover. But maybe let's to be sure we could go see just for a second if we could think of a Ranger for sure. Trying to think of older Rangers. Kevin Brown.
Kevin Brown
Would
played
have
for the Rangers.
worked. I believe so. Could be wrong. Eovaldi. What do you think?
I think let's give Eovaldi or Scherzer a shot and see what happens.
Let's do Eovaldi. I think people think about Scherzer really recently with the Rangers.
Surely.
Let's try Eovaldi. Okay. Maybe they changed the roles here. You know what? I'll have to tag crossover, see what their logic is these days. Um, Unbelievable. Okay. All right. Let's finish off strong. Played for 5+ teams, 15 win seasons. Like we said, Bartolo, anybody else you think of who's just been a journeyman? I mean, Cone, I think you alluded to.
Cone would fit for sure. I mean,
Yeah. Um, both of those sound good to me. I know for sure Bartolo played for 5 teams. I worry about whether or not Cone hit that fifth team.
Cone played for Kansas City, the
Oh, it's
Mets,
true. Kansas City,
The
Mets.
Yankees, Toronto. I think even Boston for a short period of time.
You're right. You're right. So what do you think? I'll let you make the call. Cone or Cola or Bartolo, both work.
Let's go Burrito. Let's go with
Yeah.
Bartolo.
All right. Definitely works here. Let's hopefully Bartolo doesn't let us down. Bartolo Cologne, he works. All
I'll do it.
right. Hey, two bips, but not a bad grid. We got a couple old time guys in there. We got the Stony Brook alum, Travis Jankowski. So if you're watching this, tell us who we should have put for some of these other boxes. Dad, thanks for doing this with me. You know, as I've said before, you and Mom were huge parts of me becoming a baseball fan. So this is cool to share this with you. But yeah, thanks so much.
Well, thanks so much. This was a lot of fun. So we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again for sure. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. And yeah, keep watching for more content.